This book is called Oh War, and it's a lot. Many of the poems, even the love poems, are informed by the Iraq War. I won't read any of those poems tonight, however. I'm going to, since in the honor and in the spirit of Stanford in 1975, I'll read a poem that takes place around that time, the late 70s. My first wife and I were in a Chinese restaurant in San Francisco, and there was a couple in the next booth, and they were having a fight, a marital spat. You couldn't hear the words because there's so much noise in the restaurant, but you could sort of hear the rhythm of argument, you know. And then at some point, the restaurant just miraculously went silent, and I heard the woman make this remark to the husband. And for years, I wanted to get it into a poem, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then I figured out how to do it. So the poem is called Egg Rolls, and imaginative title. And you'll hear the line. I mean, it's an amazing line. The kind of thing you can't make up. The gregarious babble muffled the sharp words the couple in the next booth were trying all through dinner not to have. Only an occasional, no, you listen for a change, or how dare you, or I can't believe this, would rise above the barely suppressed staccato, please God, not now, not here rhythm of an argument they wanted both to swallow and spit out. Then the pause, the momentary silence in which the whole place seemed to be listening to the woman say at last, clearly and slowly, so everyone could hear, "It's not the egg rolls, Harry. It's the last 10 years. Oh, Harry, can you forgive them, the young couple in the next booth who laughed out loud but really did try not to? Surely you heard them. How could you not have, as you ran past, hurrying after her, your disappearing wife? And though it's nearly 30 years since then, would it console you now to learn they didn't last a year, that couple? And even that night, although they strolled home hand in hand, a little less estranged for all the laughter you occasioned, even after making love and meaning it and lying back, no part of either of them touching now, they heard, they couldn't help but lie there wide awake and hear the couple from the next apartment, who for all they knew could have been you and her, go at it longer, louder, deeper into the night than they themselves had ever thought was possible. Okay. See, I will move ahead. There's a series of poems in this book that have a one-word title, and then the word feeds into the poem. And I'll read two of these, and then a couple more poems. This poem is called Night. It's a dream poem about a dream of being in New York City with my brother, and the city is entirely deserted, and so it's just the two of us in the city. So it's a dream poem. It's called Night. Night of the empty city, a block on block of traffic lights changing to no traffic above the intersections of the avenue curving in the distance out of sight. The thorough silence in which my brother, 8 years dead, was suddenly beside me. The surprise of feeling no surprise that we were walking stride for stride somewhere only the dream needed to know about. The two of us happy together walking, happy to let the dream know where. And then the sense I woke with that someone else had been there. Someone in the dream I was supposed to notice, but noticed only later when the dream was over. Someone more shadow than man, more night than shadow, sitting in shadow, head bowed, hands on head, weighed down by sorrow, but for what? Some covenant betrayed, an obligation gone unmet, as David and I walked past and kept on passing, all the way down the avenue as if we walked in place, lights changing pointlessly from red to green to yellow, and the man in shadow, more alone than ever, still waiting there inside the flown dream's empty city, waiting for what I couldn't say now that I've wakened, now that my brother has returned to being dead. And then a kind of companion piece to this, when my brother was, he died of brain cancer and he was treated in North Carolina. And the day that he was given the news that there was really nothing more that could be done to him, we were at Duke University Hospital, and we went down to the cafeteria before we headed home. And there was a woman there who looked like a dead ringer, no pun intended, for my dead sister. So it's just about the spookiness of that moment. So it's called After. After the last scans, last bad news, and the breakdown, and then the bitter composure in the hospital cafeteria, settling our trays on the table before the sky blue wall on which the giant Virgin Mary, full of sorrow, held out her arms to all of us. After we saw her, our sister at the next table, not someone similar, but Beth herself, as she was exactly, reading the way she did, engrossed, oblivious, the thick pre-cancer brown hair falling over her face, tilted over the book she held in one hand, while absently the other fed her, until she gathered up her tray, and not even noticing how we were staring, walked past us back into the afterlife, while the Virgin dolefully looked on, and in my brother's variation of the old joke said, "You're dying, and the food is awful, and the portions are small." And actually one more that's sort of connected to this. This is just called How. How in the bedroom of the afterlife a phone is ringing on a bedside table beside a bed whose sheet is smooth as steel, the crypt cold pillow unindented, and how the absence of a blanket on the hard bed's white sheet on which the pillow rests reveals the cold's irrelevance. How nothing heavier has ever lain down on it to disturb it than the blanket that isn't there, the ringing of the phone that never stops, and how it rings and rings is how the living call, and how the dead reply is how it goes on ringing.